Whoa, how about the first episode of the Bald Guy and the Fat Boy podcast? I've been sending little teasers out of the Fat Boy giving his opinions on everything. And finally, here it is. Here's the first episode. So, what are you up to, Fat Boy?
Oh, sitting around being fat.
Come on now. We're going to need a little more than that from you today. I know you're still reeling over there. You're trying to get it figured out. You're
Yes, trying to figure out all the. I am terrible at technology.
terrible at technology. I know. Here, one of these days, we'll get you on there and uh, you'll be trimming your nose hairs or something while we're trying to do this, I think.
Yeah, yeah. that's that's what I'll be doing. You see me sticking scissors in my nose?
Well, I mean,
No.
okay. All right. So let's jump right into it. This is the first episode of the Bald Guy and the Fat Boy podcast. Welcome everyone. I'm the bald guy. That's the fat boy on the other side over there. Say hi.
Uh, no, I'm the fat boy. I'm just uh, trying to get used to the platform here.
Yeah. He's got a lot of hot takes. There's a lot of personality and opinions bottled up over there. We got to get out of him, guys. So, but right now, in his defense, we're still coming off of a pretty bad weekend for him, or at least a bad Saturday. So, as y'all see, he's sporting his Alabama hat, and it was not a good weekend. I just like to say, get that out there. This was important for us mainly because I'm a UT fan and he's an Alabama fan. And this is probably the first time in a long time that I can talk smack on this podcast. So, you got any excuses for your
It,
boys?
it would be the first podcast we do where you could actually talk smack. That's ironic. I don't have excuses. I have reasons. Winners and especially Alabama, we don't make excuses. We just tell the truth and go on about our business. And the truth is, Texas was a better team.
Now that I
That
agree.
hurts me to, and that hurts me to say. That's what it boils down to. It hurts me deep to say that, but it's true. Um, y'all are real good at quarterback. Y'all are real good at defense. And we're real young, at a lot more spots than I thought we were. So we just got a lot of work to do, and that's what all them terrible games are for. I just wish we wouldn't have to play y'all so early in the year.
Yeah, well, it probably works out good for us. I mean, we almost had y'all last year, so this was our time. As everybody at Texas like to say, we're back until we try to get scared by some unranked team that we have no business being in a football game with. So until that happens, I'm gonna enjoy myself and just revel in the fact that we went into Tuscaloosa and put it on y'all's butt.
That's for sure, and you did that. So just soak it up. Um,
I just want everybody to know this is
you
the calmest this man is ever going to be talking about Alabama football. If this was
did that for
any,
sure.
any other week we were talking about this, he would have lots to say, but not this week.
Yeah, but I'm just supposed to. The way this works is, because I'm so not used to being on this side of it. The way this works is, I'm supposed to sit here and take it, right? I know it's a talking podcast, but I mean, what am I supposed to do? We got whooped. It's at home by Texas. It is what it is.
Okay, I mean, I was looking for some kind of conspiracy theory or something on why it happened, but just to come out here and just admit that Texas was a better team kind of takes all the joy out of it.
Well, the last thing I want to give you after the win is joy. So, I mean, you don't get your cake and eat it too.
Hey,
I
it's not,
mean, no.
at this point, we're thinking we're coming to the SEC next year with the Natty, with the national title.
Okay, this is okay. I'll make you feel worse. This is not 2009 where everybody and their dog said If Colt McCoy hadn't got hurt, we'd have won that game. Well, this ain't that.
I know it's not. You're right. Both quarterbacks played the whole game, and the better team won.
I agree.
Okay.
God, I hate to agree.
Oh, I'm glad we got that on the first episode. That'll be one to remember right there. All right. So, what else happened in college football? There was some other stuff going on.
Yeah, you got the story of the millennium talking about Coach Prime in Colorado. Uh, they have really shut a lot of their critics up. That's for sure. Because the first 2 weeks of the year they sure do look like the real deal to me.
I think
Especially, I mean,
we still got to see if they've actually played somebody because both of the teams they've beat, while there was big expectations prior to the year, we don't really know what those programs are going to be. I mean, they may end up being 500 or
no,
clubs.
no, Charlie. TCU was the defended runner-up to the national champions. No, they were the God's gift of football last year. They get all the credit in the world for coming. That's the way that works. They were 17. They wasn't no more 17. The only thing 17 about them, some of their kids' shoe sizes.
Look,
That is so irritating.
okay, so for everybody out there, there's a little bit of backstory on this because if you'll remember to last year in the 2022, I'm trying to remember, it's right there at the beginning of the year. So I don't know if it's 2022, 2023, but either way, last year into the playoffs, TCU gets in, Alabama gets left out, and that's why he's so salty about this. That's his
Well,
problem.
because there's no, even your bald tail with the fact that you just beat Texas, just beat us. Even you would admit if Alabama had got a chance to play TCU, there's no way TCU would have beat Alabama. And then somehow they beat Michigan. That's what I got to hear. Oh, they beat Michigan. They beat Michigan. Either Michigan stunk or they got lucky because then they went and laid an egg against Georgia.
Okay, well, maybe Georgia's just that good, but you can't tell me that since they beat Michigan that they didn't deserve to be in the playoff.
Oh, I can tell you that. You just don't like me to tell you
Yeah,
that.
I'm not going to believe it 100%.
Well, that's the only people that were the main people that were in love with TCU last year is them 13 committee members. I'll be so glad. I will be so glad when we go to 12 teams and that 13 committee member thing gets what's the watered down. That
You're
13
just
committee.
hoping. Oh, you're just hoping that y'all can get on name recognition alone for the next 10 to 15 years.
No, no, I'm like Nick Saban. Let's just prove it on the field instead of letting 13 really smart people decide. I want to
Well,
call them dummies, but I know they're not.
yeah, they're not dummies, that's for sure. But I mean, you have to play the season in order to get into the four team tournament. I'm a big fan of expanding it. I didn't think four was enough. Open it up, let some of these other uh smaller programs get in there. We could have had, what is it, Central Florida and some stuff like that a couple years ago that actually had a chance to do something, or would have got in there against big time programs and got their behinds kicked, and everybody would have knew what they were. I'm pro expanding it.
Well, I'm pro expanding it because if I can't stand for another year, I'd rather go back to the BCS than after last year.
Oh, come on now. The BCS was
That's,
horrible.
oh yeah, they were talking about it the other day. 1990. You know who the national championship in 1990 was?
I don't remember. Who was it?
It was Colorado and Penn State, co-national champions. Isn't that the dumbest thing you ever heard? No, the dumbest thing you ever heard was TCU being in the Final Four
Oh
last year.
no. Because the TCU beatdown wasn't even as bad as Notre Dame a couple years ago.
Notre Dame's irrelevant. All my whole point was the fact that Alabama deserved to was better, and we just didn't get to prove that.
by God, if there's a playoff in college football, Alabama should be there no matter what. What is everybody thinking?
That's not what I mean, but I'll go with it because that's as close as even the sarcasm. It works. So
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what y'all do now. I mean, Texas may have just ended the Alabama dynasty. That may have just happened.
I wish you would kind of listen to yourself. Some of the things come out of your mouth before you actually say them, because that's ended our dynasty. Until Saban's gone, dynasty ain't over.
Well, I
It
mean,
just
right now it's Georgia's dynasty. It's not even y'all's dynasty. I mean, y'all are second in your own conference.
Yeah, that's true. And just, I mean, do you want me to? I can sit here and start taking credit for some of that if you want me to.
Oh, you're responsible for Georgia?
Well, Alabama is. Nick Saban is. I mean,
Okay.
who got your coach
Hey,
back on track?
hey, I don't
Come
care.
on now, no. If
I'm
you want to go there,
glad. I'm appreciative. I don't have a problem with it. It's great.
okay. Who got Georgia's coach back on track?
Yeah,
Where'd
hey,
he come
Saban
from?
is great for the coaching community, but for a long time he was untouchable by his ex-coaches, and now it
Well,
seems
yeah,
like they're
but
figuring it out.
between NIL and the transfer portal, teams have finally caught up. But
Oh, we leveled the playing field, man. That's
it,
horrible, isn't it?
it doesn't mitigate the fact that Alabama's still right there.
Oh
So
yeah, they're right there. They're just not as dominant as they were.
and you don't know that Alabama's going away this year. That Texas thing might just put them right back in the thick of things. So, but I can't say too much because we're coming off that loss. So you just keep poking the bear.
Okay, or elephant as it may be, I guess.
Elephant as it may be. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Wish I'd have thought of that before you did.
So okay, so what do we cover? We covered the Alabama UT game.
We
Uh,
covered Colorado.
Colorado, man, those guys look good. That
Well,
is that is a heck of a story with Dion coming in. I remember watching all the videos when he told everybody, "Hey, all you fringe players in here, I'm bringing some good talent. I'm bringing some dogs with me. Y'all might as well hit the transfer portal right now because I got some
why,
people coming."
why do you think all the what's the upper crust or whoever you want to call it? Why do you think everybody had such a problem with how he? I mean, what did he do that was so different and wrong to build that team that everybody else is really doing?
He
Matt
did
Rule at
nothing.
Nebraska, the team that he just played had 44 new ones come in.
I know,
I
and Matt Rule was the biggest one talking smack about how he did his program.
Right. So
So,
I don't know. I just I feel like them kids are responding to Prime, and I feel like the fact that I think a lot of them are jealous because Prime's son comes in and lights them up, and they all wish they could do that too.
yeah, no, I mean, his son is playing real good ball right now.
Well,
100.
did I mean I think I saw something. He wasn't even on the board of high. And I mean, are we allowed to talk about Vegas? He wasn't even on the board in
Yeah,
Vegas.
we're not sponsored by anybody. You can talk about
Yeah,
that.
he wasn't even on the board in Vegas for the Heisman. After week two, uh, he's like the second or third betting favorite.
He's going to be behind Caleb Williams,
Yeah.
and I mean, after the Alabama game, Ewers has to be somewhere on there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but to imagine that they go from 1-11 last year to having the quarterback on in the second week of the season on the board for the Heisman. That ought to show you what Prime's doing is working, whether anybody likes it or not.
Well, and it also shows you that what he did at the HBCUs translates to big time college football.
See, I never said it didn't. Only people that said it didn't were people that really didn't want it to, in my opinion.
That's probably true. And they wanted to keep those schools small, and they kind of thought small is one of the reasons Dion left. He said, "Okay, I'm out."
Yeah.
I'm,
I mean, all. I mean, he's gonna go. he's gonna go where it's good for Prime, and Colorado looks like a good fit for him.
Did you see where now they're projecting him to, well, after the Texas game, everybody's like, oh, he's going to go take the Alabama job, which I don't think he'll ever do.
No,
But,
we've
but
already had.
I
We,
love when he said, when everybody started saying that he's going to replace McCarthy as the Cowboys coach.
yeah.
And that would be the most Jerry Jones thing ever. Except I think after all of his success in college football, you're going to turn right around and you're going to have a Jimmy Johnson thing all over again, to where if he come in and they want it, now Prime gets all the credit and Jerry Jones is still upset about that.
Yeah, well, all I know is that Prime just needs to stay at Colorado for a few more years before any of that conversation starts.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I think he'll stay long enough for his son to go to the NFL.
Is that how about how long you give him?
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on who he can recruit as a quarterback after that. But he's probably not going to be able to recruit one that he's been working with his entire life.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. This first run probably going to be his best run, but we'll see. We could be wrong about that too. So,
Yeah, no, 100%. So let's see. So that's a good segue into another awesome topic. For those out there, as y'all get to know us, we are both Cowboy fans, and it's a great time to be a Cowboy fan right now. It is a great time to be a Cowboy fan. That was one of the best season opening games that I don't know how it could be any better than to hang 40-0 on the Giants.
in New York, just to make them look like fools. I so enjoyed it.
I couldn't believe they shanked the the field goal that was right down there, pretty much on the goal line, to where they could have at least had 3 points. They couldn't do it.
They couldn't do. I mean, it was raining, and it was raining so hard last night in this old country state. They couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat, and it was raining. So how is that even possible?
Well,
But they just I don't know if they're that bad or if they just I really don't care because they're the Giants, but it
I
sure
don't
was.
think they're that bad. I think they finished the season somewhere around 500, maybe a little over.
I I mean I agree with that.
I mean, I think this was a big wake up call. I think this gave the coaches and the players all kinds of motivation to go have a good week and figure out, because everybody was saying they're going to make a jump from last year. Well, week one, we found out that y'all ain't nowhere near the top of the NFC East.
Yeah. I do know one thing. I don't know about re-signing Daniel Jones. I don't know if that was the most intelligent move. I'm not. I have never been a big fan of his.
Quarterbacks
But
are hard to come by. So even so, a serviceable one gets paid
oh,
nowadays.
I know what they were thinking. I just don't think. I mean, I just don't agree with it. That's their business. I mean, we've had we thought we had quarterbacks. We may not have had quarterback problems. We might have had offensive. We might have been having offensive coordinator problems this whole time. Just thought it was quarterback problems.
Uh, with who?
Our ex offensive coordinator that is now at not San, Los Angeles. I still can't get used to that. But
Right.
he's at Los Angeles, and now McCarthy's taking over the play calling. So I really honestly believe that McCarthy's going to, in the little bit of sample size we have from Sunday night, Sunday night, I really think McCarthy's going to come to really help Dak do what Dak should have been doing the whole time. Um, I think the scheme and the what the offensive coordinator was doing was messing Dak up.
You think?
Yes, very much so, and I think that's going to be proven out through this season with McCarthy running the playbook that Dak's going to look a lot better. Where all these Dak haters are just going to have to have to blame somebody else or something else.
I mean, he had a bad year last year. I mean, that can't all be on the offensive coordinator. I mean, there was
But
times he was outright throwing the ball to the other team.
well, outright throwing the ball to the other team. I just, I just don't think he was ever comfortable in that system. I mean, I'm not saying he gets a complete pass, but we'll see. That's just my feeling on it. I think that's going to be head and shoulders above and beyond last year. Um, to the point where, and I'll go ahead and unbury the lead. Prior to the Jets Bills game, um, I had already made my Super Bowl pick, and and Charlie's being nice. He wasn't gonna throw me under the bus for this. But my original Super Bowl pick was I had the New York Jets versus the dastardly Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of people got San Francisco there. I've got Philadelphia there. I uh, I just think that if Philly wins out and they've got to go through Philly in Philly to win it, I think Philly comes out of that game. So I had Philly in the Jets. Now I'm crawfishing on that. I don't have that Super Bowl anymore. So we'll see. I may have to reevaluate and figure it out. Uh, I had I had the Aaron Rodgers led Jets to the Super Bowl, so that's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's gone now. As everybody knows, Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles fourth snap of the game,
Yep, fourth snap.
fourth snap of a 2-year deal with
Is that
the
pun
Jets.
intended? Was that pun intended? Pun intended fourth snap?
Yeah, well,
Because
that's what it was.
they literally showed they literally showed his leg do some kind of shaking thing. It
Hmm.
said that was the actual Achilles tendon fluttering off of the like the bone or something.
I
It
watched a doctor break it down and he brought it through and showed it in slow motion. It showed exactly when the muscle was tense and then he said you see it release right there. That's when it popped. He's like there's another tendon in there that could have popped that wouldn't really hurt him as bad. He would still be able to play through it, but it's like one they don't talk about. But he said more than likely when you see that muscle relax right there while it should be still be under tension, that it's a done deal. He's out of there. And Achilles or something you look at, and it seems like the greats that play a long time run into this. I remember seeing Kobe do it. I remember watching Kevin Durant do it. And now sitting there watching Aaron Rodgers, it's like, man, at this point, you probably should have left last year.
well, yeah, but he didn't want to. He wanted to go.
Well, and he got $75 million for
Yeah,
2 years
75,
guaranteed. So
75 million. But I just, I just don't know if he'll. Do you think he'll hang it up, or do you think he'll keep going?
I don't know, but I do have a prediction out of this, and this is going to be probably the second worst take in sports media this week, because the first worst take, no matter who, I don't care who else you are, if you look at it, the worst take was Nick Wright on FS1. I don't know if you ever watch any of his stuff, but
Yeah,
he went on, he got a tattoo to go with his 20-0 Kansas City Chiefs. He pulled up their record. He said, "Look, show me a loss. I don't see a loss in there. They're going to dominate everybody." And like I said, he got it tattooed. 22-0, like Super Bowl champs for it. They don't even come out of game one. That is a horrible take. Now,
yeah,
this take I'm going to have right here, fair warning for everybody, almost probably on that same level if we look back in a couple years. But I think there's an opportunity that we see uh the quarterback for the Jets, old pretty boy. What's his name? Garrett Wilson.
is it Garrett? It's Wilson. Let's just go with Wilson.
Anyway, the
So
one that was like dating his mom's friend last year and all that. So
yeah,
Garrett is not. Garrett is a receiver. Hold on. Hold on.
the boy from uh, uh,
Zach
traded me.
Wilson. Zach
Zach Wilson.
Wilson. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Easy.
what happens if Zach Wilson turns into the next Tom Brady? I think this is just like when Bledsoe went down for the Patriots. He had a chance to sit and watch how Aaron Rodgers come in prepared, what he was irritated with, what he looked for. Rodgers still has a chance to mentor him, even though that hadn't necessarily been his strong suit. But what if he turns into a guy that they can't go back to when Rodgers is healthy?
I just found out today that COVID shots are going to be mandatory like flu shots. You may need to have your COVID shot. You got a
Yeah.
fever because you got a fever or something.
You think?
That happened.
Uh,
He,
I don't know,
he,
man.
okay. Well, I don't have the Jets in the Super Bowl anymore, regardless whether you think he's going to turn into the next Tom Brady or not.
Well, let's just see what happens. I mean, maybe he's learned a little something. Got some pressure off of him. He was able to settle in. I could see it. He's got
Well,
confidence. The kid has confidence.
let's have a conversation. Which one of us logistically watched every episode of Hard Knocks?
That'd have to be you because that was not me.
Yeah, because I watched every episode of Hard Knocks, and because I was excited about Aaron Rodgers and my Super Bowl pick and everything, so I wanted to see what it looked like. So I watched. I've got HBO. Am I allowed? I guess whatever. That we got sponsored, like I said earlier. I watched every episode of Hard Knocks, and I thought the reason with watching that, I thought that the Jets would have a reasonably good chance with their defense and their offense and their wide receivers. I thought they had a legitimate chance of making it to the Super Bowl. With Rodgers out, I don't think that anymore. So that's where I'm at. It just
I'm not saying they'll make it the Super Bowl. I just think this may be one of those times to where a vet quarterback that comes in, going to try to finish out his career, maybe win another title with an established team, opens the door with an injury for a young guy to actually, like I said, settle down. Went to this year with no expectations. So there was nothing, he didn't have to worry about starting. Hell, he didn't even really have to worry about playing for the most part. And I think that could be the difference for him.
so ironically, we've talked about all this, and we established that the Cowboys are our favorite team, and the Jets are who we've been talking about through Hard Knocks and all this. Well, guess what? The Cowboys and Jets play this Sunday.
no, they're gonna murder him. They're gonna murder him.
The Jets are going to murder the Cowboys. The
No,
Cowboys are
the
going to.
Cowboys are gonna murder the Jets.
Well, you just picked him to be the next Tom Brady. I had to get clarification.
Well, I didn't say in week 2.
Well, just making sure. I mean, you.
The opportunity's there. I'm just saying that would be a shocker, but I'm calling that now if it happens. I'll have it on tape to where I can go back and look at it.
But what I was most looking forward to is, in my opinion, the two out of the three best defenses in the league will be on the field at the same time. It'll be in the Cowboys defense, the Jets defense, and then the other defense I think is up there with them two is the San Francisco 49er defense. So it'll be I think that'll be the more interesting part of that game is which defense comes out looking more dominant in that game than even the quarterback position.
Yeah, but I hate sitting around watching a 6-9 game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just a horrible ball game for me.
But I mean, but did we establish I'm an Alabama fan already?
Yeah, we did.
How many times have you ever heard the statement defense wins championships, Charlie?
Well, hey, I'll agree that defense wins championships. I'm not going to say that. I'm saying it is a boring brand of football.
Wow, boring.
It is tough to sit through.
Bear Bryant rolling over in his grave. Defense is boring.
Yeah, you know what Bear Bryant needed? The air raid offense. That's what he needed.
Wow.
That's
Uh,
what he was looking
I
at.
didn't I didn't have that being said on my bingo card today, that's for sure.
You didn't have
But
that? Okay, well, we'll put that down.
not what I thought we were going to be talking about. But okay, if you say so.
Okay, well, we were wanting to get to a little baseball. Uh, First episode, we'll let everybody know we're both Rangers fans. We're from Texas, so we're kind of homers on a lot of that. But it looks like we have talked ourselves right through all of this college football and NFL. So you,
Well, I mean, there was a lot of that where you were bragging on Texas. I mean, we would have plenty of time if you could have pulled your big bald head out of Texas's butt long enough to talk about a little baseball. But of course not. We're short, so we'll talk about that next time.
okay, you know what? I almost had it made for this, but I wanted to get a shirt that had a longhorn on it and one of the like big cartoonish muscled up ones standing over, and I wanted to have an elephant like kind of shrinking down, going away from him, and I wanted the elephant to saying, "Okay, okay, y'all are back." I wanted to put that on a t-shirt because I think that would be hilarious given
Yeah.
what just happened. But hey, this is the last week I'll probably be able to talk about it. So I just wanted to rub that in a little bit.
Y'all gotta either lose or play somebody good, and I looked at the schedule. Neither one of us are playing anybody good this week.
Yeah, so we'll get on by there. But is there anything else you wanted to add for our the conclusion of our first episode here?
No, I'm just glad to be doing it, and I really like talking sports. I even like talking sports with you, even though you're a Longhorn fan. But it it's mostly enjoyable.
Yeah, no, I look forward to it. We're gonna start bringing it out every week, and we'll record sometime the first of the week. We'll probably get episodes out around Wednesday evening. So y'all be on the lookout for us. We've got a TikTok page, a uh, YouTube page. We'll be on all the podcast networks, just wherever you get your podcast, we'll be up there. So everybody like, subscribe, comment, let us know if there's something y'all want us to talk about. And other than that, we're just going to hang out and have fun and talk a little sports every week. So y'all come back next week.